Hey everyone, welcome back to the chat system design series. In today's video, we are focusing on API design for a chat application. APIs are the bridge between the client and server, handling everything from user authentication to message delivery. Designing effective APIs is crucial for ensuring that your chat application runs smoothly and scales effectively. So let's dive in. Before I dive in, I want to say that how can I say it? I don't know. That thing. Okay, we are going through a high level API design. I will not create an API design for each request of a chat application that serves millions of users because this is not doable in a 10 or 30 minutes video. It takes hours and hours. So I will just create a high level API design of a chat application. So first, when designing a chat application, APIs handle everything: user management, real-time messages, group management, and features like pre-scenes, indicators, and notifications. So we need to ensure that our API endpoints are well structured, intuitive, and scalable. Today we will discuss key API endpoints, their purposes, and how to make them efficient and secure. The first thing that I would like to talk about will be, okay, let me try to use this and make it really wide. Okay. The first thing I would like to talk about will be the user management APIs. Management APIs. So I guess I did write management wrong. Okay, management. So we need endpoints to allow users first to register, login, and manage their profile. So we can use some endpoints. We can use like v1 slash register. This is a post request. It will be for register. We have maybe like v1 slash login. This will be a post request also for login. Um, in this one, these endpoints allow users to create an account, while the v1 login will allow users to authenticate them and returns a JSON Web Token for authorization, for example. I will use a JSON Web Token for authorization. Using JSON Web Token ensures that user sessions are stateless and scalable. Once authenticated, the client uses this token to make requests, keeping the system lightweight and avoiding the need to store session data on the server side. The second thing, we could think about profile management. So when we have like v1 slash user slash user slash ID, for example. This one is to retrieve or update user information. This allows users to modify their profile picture, status, and other settings. To be honest. Maybe we can talk next on the messaging API. Um, One of the most important endpoints is the one that handles sending messages. We could have an endpoints like, let's say that v1 or maybe API will be messages slash send. This one where the client sends a post request with the sender ID, receiver ID, and the message content. Once the server processes the message, it needs to store it in the database and modify and notify the receiver, typically using WebSockets or push notification. We need to have, I guess, retrieving messages. So we might have like v1 slash v1. I guess I forgot to add this. V1 slash papa messages as well slash the, maybe we could add like the conversation ID, like we can put the conversation ID or maybe the message ID or maybe the user ID. So for retrieving chat history, for example, we need to endpoints like that. This endpoint should support pagination, allowing users to load messages in chunks instead of retrieving the entire chat history at once, which would be inefficient. And the pagination is for performance, so we implement pagination using query parameters like it will be something like that. Page equals 1, so the first page. This reduces server load and improves the client-side experience by loading messages incrementally. Maybe we can talk about the group messages API. For group management, we need endpoints for creating, updating, and deleting groups. An endpoint, it will be like v1, it will be slash groups, groups, let's say, groups slash create. This will be a post request, allows a user to create a new group chat, while, for example, we can have like a put request that will be groups slash, for example, the ID. You put the ID of the group to edit that. This can be used as an update group. Also, we can have adding and removing participants. Like we need also APIs for adding or removing participants from groups, such as we could do something like that. v1 slash groups as well. Let's keep groups because we want our naming to be consistent, and we put the ID of the specific group, and we might say, for example, add participant, add user, for example, and maybe we after that put the user ID or something like that as a parameter. So these APIs are essential for managing the dynamic nature of the group class. We can have this another one to remove users. We can next talk about WebSockets for API, for real API timing. Let's say WebSockets. To enable real-time messaging, we use WebSockets API. When a user connects to the chat, they establish a WebSocket connection to the user using an endpoint, like, for example, this would be something like that, WebSocket / connect. This connection remains open, allowing both the client and server to send messages to each other instantly. WebSockets can also be used for features like typing indicators and read receipts. For example, when a user starts typing, a WebSocket event can only notify the other participant in real time. Similarly, read receipts can be sent when a message is opened, updating the message status for both users. We could add some things also, pre-scenes notification and notifications APIs. I guess this will be quite important. And in the next video, I guess I will talk about a pre-scene service. So another important feature in a chat app is for example, a user pre-scene. This one is pretty important because showing whether the user is online or offline. We can achieve this with endpoints like maybe v1 pre-scene, for example, slash update or something like that. Yeah, that work. To let the server know when a user connects or disconnect, and a WebSockets event to broadcast this status to the other users. We could also need the push notifications for offline, but we could use a send parties for that. Like for users who are offline, push notifications are essential to keep them engaged when a message is received and the user is not connected. An API like pop-up, let's say it will be v1, let's say notification slash send, for example, can interact with third-party services such as a Firebase cloud messaging to send a push notification, ensuring that the user is alerted even if they are not actively using the app. There are some API considerations, security, so authentication and rate limiting. Like security is crucial when when designing APIs. All endpoints should be protected by JWT authentication to ensure only authenticated users can access them. Additionally, implementing a rate limiting can help prevent abuse by limiting how often an endpoint can be called within a specific time frame. There is also input validation and data sanitization. We also need validate and sanitize all input data to protect against common vulnerabilities like SQL injection and cross-site scripting. Using libraries that automatically handle these take tasks can make your APIs way more secure. So to sum it up, designing effective APIs is crucial part for building a scalable and reliable chat application. It might be a crucial part in your system design interview. I will not say that in every system design interview you'll be asked about creating API design, but you expect by 60 or 70% to face this section in your system design interview. So we covered in this video the key types of APIs needed for user management, messaging, management, real-time features and notifications. We also touch on important of security and performance considerations. And yeah, that's it for this video, and see you next.